Alright guys, you may notice and you may not, depends on if you've been around a lot of paddles, but something look wrong here. I turned those things around backwards. So I was at Winchester Bay cruising around. That belt don't have very many hours on it, and I know that I get better traction with these tires, but I think it's pulling too much power and it winds up overworking the belt. It grabs good, so I was thinking about this and wondering, is there an issue with my clutch kit? But I don't think there is, because I can launch and that doesn't seem to be the problem. The problem is when I'm going, which the belt should already be tight, but I guess if you're giving it throttle and it just doesn't have the oomph to spin those tires, it'd be just like say you're out rock crawling and you get to something and it won't go anymore. You throw it in four-wheel drive to get up over the rock, but you forget to put it in low range, you're going to burn a spot in your belt. But that's on the start. Same kind of principle when we're going, and there was really soft sand out there, a lot, all below sand. You'd be driving along across the flat and it'd just be going, and then you'd fill it bog and go and kind of fill up bog. There was some soft sand out there, so it was robbing a lot of horsepower. So then I was wondering if those System 360s that have the little X pattern in them would maybe be a better option. Talked to some people out there at the campground that had them, and they love them. They've never run the paddles themselves, but they've drove their buddies, and their buddies are breaking belts and they're not. They're running in four-wheel drive. And then I started thinking about how some people would turn the front tires around on those System 3s in case if they wanted more drifting ability. It was just too planted, it had a little more float. So then I was walking back by this and I go, hey, maybe I should try turning these around, and then that'll give me a good idea if my theory is right, that I've just got too much bite. The paddles aren't tall, but there's 14 of them, and they're curved this way, so when they're on the correct direction, they're grabbing a scoop of sand like this, and then like my haulers for my four-wheeler, they go straight across, but they're cupped, so they're grabbing the sand in a different way. So I turned those around and I went out for a spin, and it sure seems like it can spin them easier, and it was still going up the hills. I tried to go to the same places that I was at earlier, and it would go there. I still had some belt smell. You can tell the belt's getting warm and stuff, but I think I've already damaged that situation, so I don't think it's a fair comparison. But it was spinning a lot more like this, so it's giving me more evidence that the way I'm thinking is true. Plus I put more air pressure in here than I normally do. I normally will run like 6, and I took them up to 8.5, thinking that more pressure, they have less bite, and it did make a difference. It narrowed up my pattern in the sand. When it was at 6, it would go from here to the same spot on the other side, and then when I go to 8 pounds, it was only running about this much of on the harder packed sand. Of course, you get in the real soft stuff, and it's going to go all the way down here. But so these are just some of the things I was doing, trying to figure out if my theory is right that I'm pulling too much power with these. And I am convinced at this point, so I'm going to do some more research. If I go to the dunes again with these, I will probably run them like this for a whole trip and see how they are. And maybe on an upcoming video, I could show you what's going on inside that clutch. We'll need to pull that off and see if it's something that if I need to change that clutch, or not clutch, sorry, that belt. If I'm going to need to change that belt from where, or if I can run it for dirt trails for a while and just change it before I go to the dunes again. Because I don't have an issue with belt ever on trails or any kind of rock crawling that I've done so far. Everything's been fine. It's just that sand pulls so much power, and this is a heavy machine. So that's where we are on that. I'll throw some clips in of some of my testing. I did some donuts out there just to try to figure out how much sand it would throw, and I did them when they were the other way, and then I went back to the same spot and did them while they were backwards like this, and I really think I was throwing more sand with this. So with this going this direction, you're actually pushing the sand off to the side when you're spinning. When they're the other way, you're pulling the sand into the middle. So it seemed to have more, so I might need to go to less paddles. These have 14 on them, which is pretty common. Go less paddles, or maybe a shorter tire. So that'd be like changing gears, just so that I can spin them more. All right, well, we'll throw some clips of some of the other stuff in there, and go from there. Today I was in this exact spot. Sand was pretty much like this, because of this wind we have today. It just flattens itself right back out. But I did donuts there, and right here there's a little residue of one. And I did donuts up there earlier. There's residue above it. There's some above it. And so like I realized on how the paddle is curved this way right now, so it's pushing the sand out of the way, and when the paddles are on the correct direction, they're grabbing more, which is definitely more bite, because it actually will get going and spin around fast. I wasn't able to get a turn that tight when I was doing the donuts earlier. Today it gets to a point, and then it actually whipped, where the other one going the other way, it's trying to keep the thing going straight. So that's gotta be allowing more spin, and not putting such a load on the belt. But I am smelling a little bit of belt. Maybe it's too late for this one, I don't know, because until I got here I really didn't do anything hard. So I don't know, I'll do a little more driving around and see what I think. But at this particular moment, I'm thinking it definitely is less load on it. Kind of looks funny. Yep, let's go try some. Okay, so you can see how it's throwing the sand up, but you do get a little whiff of belt there, warm belt. Yeah, we'll do a little more experiment now here. Hey guys, so today we're at Umpqua Dunes, Winchester Bay campground. This is the new end of their park. It's all paved and asphalted. They call this the deluxe end. The rest of it looks like that one over there, which is all gravel still. That one's been here forever. You got these condos over here that you can rent. So there's out here for Father's Day weekend, and we got the wife's quad, we got TW, got a friend here with his quad, and got the general. The nice thing about this campground is you go right out that end, right onto the road to the dunes. So there's no driving down the road like the other places here. Looks like we got a general over there at that camp, and there's a general right over there by that desert fox, and I've seen 2 or 3 others out on the dunes today, so they're starting to get a little more popular. So when we get out there on the dunes, we'll fire it up and show you a little more about what it looks like today. my dirt tires, I'll have a lot more tire spin. But these, I think when it gets under a bind, it slips the belt instead of the tire.
Yeah.
Like some of those machines you'll see going across the thing, and they just got a big old roost out the back. This doesn't have one.
Because the belt's slipping, right?
Which is part of why I'm thinking that I'm over paddled.
You think you'd have a transmission in it instead of something like that?
The theory with these is they're supposed to always keep you in your power band. So they're always adjust to keep it there. They come with a lot of problems. Some good guys, they're happy if they only go through 2 belts in a weekend. Those are $150.
Yeah, fuck that. That's a drop off, huh?
Yeah, and there was a sand rail coming up.
Oh, that would have been shitty.
Down we go.
Don't think you'd make that up at all. That's pretty steep.
Soft.
Yeah.
The front tires were about halfway into just rolling down it. This is steep. There's 5-10 cents in there. Better pick that up. Just litter control.
But truly, somebody's drinking and driving.
Now I'll probably get blamed. Oh, I see you have an open container in there. No, picking up trash.
How they get back here from over there? How they get back here from over there?
Yeah.
I think that'd be fun.
Sand camping?
Yeah.
You like sand and everything? It's a good way to go.
I don't really care. Little kid. You're a little guy.
Freaking kids. Not bad, huh? And sport quads could do those better, but they got 6-7 inches more ground.
all kinds of places already. Oh, there's a spot, huh?